Okay, everyone, welcome back to APRL. I have no clue if it's been commentated for before, but this is pre-season testing, round 1, season 2 at Imola. As we have a look through the grid, we have Soup for Duck for Williams, Parko Boy in the McLaren, Fast Fest in a Racing Bull, Naya Eshe in a Mercedes or a Merc, Crybro in a Aston, Spotty Dotty in a Red Bull, Cookie Dude being in a Alpine, Fredskin being in the McLaren, Poopsie being in the Haas, Number 1 Tech Cafan in a Kick, Praiser in the other Merc, Foot in the other Williams, Babrook in the other Kick, Lord Bill in the Red Bull, Jades in a Racing Bull, Slip Ragoon in a Aston, and Top Head rounding out the current field in a Ferrari tonight. Now tonight we also get greeted with a full quali. So perhaps after the first quali, I might see if any of the people who get eliminated want to come back for an interview to chat, because 3 qualies is a lot, as we've got a bunch of the cars out on an outlap, and I'm going to get the spectator information up so people can see. There we go. And there'll be a few people out on, you might see some people on questionable tyre compounds. That's because they're trying to go for what APRL calls an inters pole, where you try and get pole on intermediates. As we have an Aston just starting almost halfway through his lap, just heading up through sector 2 into I'm not going to bother trying to pronounce any of the names for this track because I don't want to butcher him, and if I butcher the names too badly, my Italian friend is going to come over and tell me off for butchering it. So we're just going through the final chicane, getting ready to go into the downhill double left-hander, and we'll see, and it's an invalidation, so we'll go to the next person. We have Noah, who's just started a lap and is met with a lot of traffic, but they do their job and get out of the way as he goes through the first chicane very nicely, burning a little bit of that ERS down into the second chicane. It's a fast chicane, keeping it within the white lines, not touching the gravel. Head up into the hairpin, uphill, burning a little bit of that ERS to get back up some speed. Then going around the double left-hander, get ready to go into this sort of double right-hander situation, and burning a little bit of that DRS to get the speed back up the hill and into the final chicane. This chicane's a weird one, you can cut quite a lot of it. Heading now down into the final set of corners, a downhill corner. And another thing to keep a thought with this track is it's quite narrow, so passing can be a bit tricky, and it's also a very penalty heavy track. And as I say that, Top Head gets a 5-place grid penalty from a collision with Preza, and that puts Noah, who was on the intermediates, at a 1:21.2, as current pole position is a 1:14.4. Will that change? Who knows? We will find out. Now, has anyone else just started a lap? Spotty Dotty, I think, just started, so we'll go on board with him through the first chicane quite nice, coming around, burning a little bit of that ERS down into the very fast second chicane, then getting ready to do the uphill hairpin, keeps it off the grass, burns a little bit of that ERS to speed back up the hill, and that car is very nice and moves out of the way through the double left-hander situation, followed by basically what is a double right, which one very steep uphill one. Burns a little bit of that ERS to help get up the hill slightly quicker, not leaving too much for the, trying to save some for the next last corner, burning again a little bit of that ERS. You want to leave about 10% coming down, but burns almost all of it into the final double left-hander, and saves, get some ERS, but burns it to the line, and he will move. Spotty Dotty will go into P6 with a 1:16.6. Currently, no one is near Jade's on pole. Now, who else have we got? Invalidated. We find a driver that's on an outlap. Invalidate. Look who I have found here. What's the bet? He's going to get disqualified for doing donuts. Again. So we'll sit on board with Coops as he chucks donuts. He hasn't got disqualified yet, which is a new one. And don't worry, we can go on board with more people. I just found him doing... Or is he trying to get a puncture in his wet tyres? Because they would be absolutely screaming on a dry track. And I wonder if we'll have rain for the race or a different quali session. I don't know that. Only the drivers do. And he's still doing donuts as everyone's driving past him. And I wonder if he knows I caught this thing on stream. Probably. I've managed to catch him on stream doing it before. And he's still going for it. He's going to get disqualified if he's not too careful. Let's... Oh, has he had enough of donuts? Is he going to do laps? He's going really slowly, letting a Ferrari, I believe, go past him. Had very low on fuel, so could come in this lap. What the... And... damages his front ring as Top Head retires from the session. I'm not quite sure where. Oh, in that final corner, it looks like that's where... Oh, there's a few cars chilling in that corner. Now let's see if anyone else is on an outlap that hasn't invalidated or isn't doing donuts. Going into the pits. We have someone about to start an outlap who's currently on, so we'll sit on board with Fred Skin for his lap here today in Quali 1 out of 3 at Imola. Burning a little bit of that ERS down the straight-ish thing across the line. Turns it off, goes through the first chicane nicely, keeps it out of the grass, touches the grass slightly on the exit there. Doesn't burn any of the ERS coming down this corner through the very fast chicane, touches the gravel and spins sideways, breaking a breaker board, what is by accident. And now we'll find waiting for the cars to pass him and going to continue his lap or try again. Who else have we got about to start a lap? We have got Soup for Duck, who has just started a lap on the soft tyres, burning so quite a lot of his ERS down into the first chicane. Through the first chicane, cutting it, keeping it clean out of the grass and gravel, burning a little bit of that, using quite a lot of ERS down into the second chicane, which is quite a quick one, and keeps it out of the gravel. Now through the hairpin, uphill, burning a little bit of that ERS to get the car moving uphill, and getting ready and now heading into the double left-hander situation, which is quickly followed up by a double right-hander. Currently keeping it within the white lines, which is always good to see. Burning quite a lot of DRS coming up that hill. Now into the chicane, cuts it, keeps it within the white lines, has to slow a bit down on the exit. So that's probably a little loss of speed. Coming down with virtually no ERS into the last double left-hander. Keeps it within the lines. Has gained a bit of ERS, but now burning absolutely everything down to the line. And gets P6 with a 1:16.5. Now as we go back to broadcast mode. Now, anyone else on an outlap or just started a lap? No, you're just about to end in a pit. We've got number 1 Tech, Kafan, about to finish his lap, keeps it off the gravel, but has quite a lot of ERS, so it could be going straight into the pits, so it was on an in-lap. We have Nayarashe coming up the hill from the chicane, through the double left-hander. It looks like a double left-hander on onboard, but the track map says otherwise. Certainly feels that way when you're driving it. Double right-hander, a little bit of what looks like a glitch from my end. Not quite sure what it looked like in lobby. Going up the hill, probably on an in-map, because not burning any of that ERS. And next person, not quite a lot of battery. So maybe on an in-lap. Let's go, it has invalidated. You've got a few in the pits, and we've got Slippery Goon just finishing a lap, but seems to have a lot of ERS left to burn, and is burning up to lot. And he gets P15 with a 1:19.7. So almost everyone here has set a lap time except for Cookie Dude and Tophead, who did unfortunately retire from the session earlier. So I think it's the bottom 5 that go each time. So we'll have currently, I think the people, if my memory serves me correctly, and how this works, is Noah, Coops, Cookie, and Tophead, who's already out, will not get through to Q2. Now, don't quote me on that. That can be completely and utterly wrong. As we just watch Slippery Goon on his in-lap, as we have some cars starting their outlap, which would be, I think, their final run, or if they're lucky, they might be able to squeeze 2 more flying laps in. And Lord Bill has retired from the session, so he must be happy with his 15.8. He is nowhere near having to worry about getting disqualified in Q1. He will get through to Q2 unless everyone else gets higher than a 15.8. And we've got a few people in the bottom and mid-pack coming out on another lap as Noah gets ready to start his second, or I don't know what, his next flying lap. And the top few have retired, so they are very content with their times from Q1. Everyone with a time of above 15, except for the current pole sitter in Q1, has retired. As we watch Noah Huni come into the first chicane, repping a very nice Williams, a Haas livery even. Sorry, Noah, I called you a Williams for a minute. Might receive some comment on that post-race, or in the interview if I can get him in. Coming around the uphill thing, hits a bit of traffic, but the car kick gets out of the way, which is what you meant to do if you're on an outlap and you've got a car on a flying lap. You don't want to impede someone, so you're most likely going to end up with a penalty, or in some leagues a quali ban, depending on which leagues you race in. Through the last chicane, cutting it quite a lot, keeping it within the white lines, which is always nice to see. Coming downhill to the last double left-hander, I think that's how you call it anyway. Keeps it within the white lines, burns that ERS to the line, and is he safe? He goes to P7 with a 1:16.5, so he's currently safe from guaranteed safe from elimination in Q1. As a bunch of other cars have now started, let's see if Bugaboo, who's just gone through the first chicane, can improve his time anymore. Now heading into Sector 2, uphill through the chicane. Off as the Haas behind him runs a little bit wide. But coming through the double left-hander, it doesn't look like that, but it certainly feels like that when you're driving it, in my experience anyway. Through that, coming uphill into Sector 3 to the last chicane, keeps it within the white lines. No, he doesn't. He unfortunately invalidates coming out of it, running a bit too wide, which means he's either going to go again on these tyres next lap, or is he going to go again for it? It looks like he is going to try and perhaps do it again. He could also now be on an in-lap. Anyone else in the... We have got Cookie, who has not set a lap time yet. Coming down into the final corners. Burning that ERS down to the line. And we'll get a time of 1:17.5, which may have scraped him from getting eliminated in Q1, as he takes out a breaker board, and I'm not quite sure what he is doing back there. He's currently still got a front wing, as retires on track. I'm not sure about the rules in this league about retirement on track. I know in some of the other leagues I do, retirement on track is a big no-no. Unless you DNF on track, that's an instant retirement. But if you voluntarily retire on track in some of my leagues, that's a no-no and you get heavily penalised. So I want you to finish, because retirement on track in a race could trigger a safety car, which is unnecessary or on purpose. As we come to the end of Q2, Q1 even, the last few cars are finishing their laps who are out. We have got the Slippery Gooner coming into that last chicane. Quite a lot of ERS, so it could be on an in-lap or trying to improve. I am not too sure if he's on an in-lap or not. We will find out. As Coops won't get a lap time and will get eliminated. What is he doing? And he is the last one we are waiting for to cross the line at the moment in Q1. And he stops right before the line to be annoying, per normal. And he's back to doing donuts. He's doing donuts. He is going to get disqualified, surely. He is absolutely ripping it out of those subs. And this is quite a funny way to end Q3. And he still hasn't finished. And he goes into the gravel as everyone is in chat going, Camos, pack it up, as he chucks donuts for what I have seen on stream for the third time. And I think he just got disqualified. He finished 18th, or he could have crossed the line. Finally, we can move on to the second quali. So the people who were eliminated were Fredskin, Slippery Guna, Parko Boy, Coops, and Tophead in Q1, with everyone else moving along to Q2. We'll start Q2 in a minute, and we will see if any of the eliminated drivers want to come in for a chat. As we wait for everyone to load in to Q2. Yes, Naya Campos is out, and I caught him doing donuts 3 times. As we have a few cars getting ready and heading out to start the outlaps, and let me pull up all the data again, because for some reason every single time I have to re-add a few things for the telemetry data for everyone to watch on stream. And now in the comms box we have Camos, who was caught doing donuts 3 times in Q1 and got eliminated. How are you?
Oh, yeah, that's amazing.
Doing it right on the line twice.
Yeah, because, like, I got eliminated.
Because you went out on wet tires.
Yeah, and I, like, invalidated.
Yeah. Invalidating. I remember last night in my race, I didn't get a single lap in short quali without invalidating. And luckily, I sent it into a wall so I wouldn't get penalised for not setting a time.
Well, alright,
Now,
well, I'm gonna go join back on the call
yeah.
with the lads now.
You're going to chuck donuts in the race?
Well, I mean, we'll have to wait and see.
We'll wait and see if I catch you doing donuts yet again, like the billionth
Alrighty.
time. As we have got quite a few people now out on their flying laps, we'll sit on board with Cryo BU as he comes through into starting sector 2, going through the hairpin, sending it up the hill, through this foul fence, sends it and touches it into the gravel, so that's not going to be the lap time he wanted, as we have got a warning in. No, that yellow flag has seemed to resolve itself. So we have Nayarashe spinning out in the very fast second chicane, which is right at the end of Sector 1. As Foot takes provisional pole in Q. Never mind. Creeper takes provisional pole with a 16.057 in Q2 today. As we jump with Super Duck, who's invalidated. No, Eshes, who hasn't invalidated but won't be happy with that lap time at all. Sliding out of the chicane. We have got Spotty Dotty gets must have not had a good lap there. We have got another invalidation. Not Cookie. As we watch Cookie come into that second very fast chicane, keeping up within the white lines off the gravel, as Jades does take provisional pole in Q2 yet again with a 13.8. Very fast time from Jades in Q2. I think slightly faster than what we saw here in Q1 slightly earlier, as we have Cookie keeping it clean through that fast corner, going up the hill into the last chicane. And going down into the final corner, keeping it within the white lines, not invalidating, and will set, I think, a banker of a 1:17.6. As we have a few more people that have completed their times, but we have Foot Duck on an in lap because his ERS, or has he invalidated? I'm not quite sure. Oh no, he's still on a lap. My bad. So coming into the final downhill corner, aiming to keep it within the white lines as not to invalidate this lap, keeping it within the lines, coming around the final corner, burning that ERS down to the line, and Soup will currently go P7 with a 1:16.4. And yes, that is a stupidly fast time, a 13.8 for Q1. Feel free to Google and check and report back to me in chat, because I can see it come up in the corner of my screen when someone types in. As we have two people yet to set a time in Q2. We have Naya, who's now on an outlap again halfway through, and we've got Fast Fest just starting his lap, going through that second very quick chicane, keeping it within the white lines and off the gravel, now heading into the hairpin, forgot what it was called for a second, into the hairpin, up the hill, not uphill, around the corner, back downhill to a fast double right-hander, I believe, then back up another hill heading to the last chicane. Water. Hydration. As he heads now into the final double left-hander, trying to keep it clean and within the lines without invalidating, keeps it in, burns that ERS down to the line, and will currently go P9 with a 16.893. We have Nayarashe, who is now on a lap, have just gone through the hairpin in Sector 2, sending it up the hill, around that corner, keeping it within the white lines and just off the gravel, get back downhill into this fast set of corners, having to brake but not brake too much, burning a little bit of that ERS to get up the hill to the chicane, goes through the chicane, and coming down, back downhill for the final corner. Keeping it within the white lines, burning that ERS down to the line, and we'll go P9 for the time being with a 16.8 to 8. So we have one driver currently in the 13s, one in the 15s, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 10, counting from 10 people in the 16s and then 2 in the 17s. I am sure a lot of them will go out slightly later and try and improve their lap time and go for their final runs or their second class run in Q2, trying to get off the bottom. So currently, the bottom few are at risk of being eliminated in Q2. As, let's see, we've got a few people now on an outlap. Is anyone about to start? No, coming into the pits. As that kick, there we go. Like Brick, it looks like he's going to be our next one to start a flying lap here in Q2, burning his battery down the main straight, one of the really long straight, down into the first chicane. Burns quite a lot of his battery through the chicane, keeping it within the white lines. It's always nice. Coming down into the second fast chicane, you have to be careful here because if you brake too early, too late, you could go sideways in the gravel, not have a good corner. And he has a purple first sector currently. Now up the hill through the hairpin and around this fast, around the left-hander. Now here, we'll wait for his lap to finish, and then there's a little bit of history with Imola. Now heading into sector 3 to the last chicane, keeps it within the white lines, doesn't touch the gravel, now heads down into the final double left-hander, burning a lot of battery. There's not much left, hoping to obviously save some up through that corner. Starts burning everything he can down to the line, and he will stay in P2. It's P3 for the meantime, as we have Suit for ducking into the pits. Invalidated. We have Cookie is on an outlap. Validated. We have number 1 Tech on what I assume is a flying lap, being very quick, almost touching the gravel there and back in that corner. Now heading up the hill, touches the gravel there, not going to be the best. And Creeper has retired from the session, obviously probably quite happy with his time with a 15.7 and currently not close to being risk to being eliminated here in Q2, as he is actually, number 1 has actually used all of his battery, gains a little bit down this corner, isn't going to have all too much to burn up to the line, but ducks into the pits. Must not have been too happy, as we have Cookie, who's just started another flying lap, going through the first chicane, keeping it within the white lines and off the gravel. And it looks like Crobat has retired from the session, will get disqualified in Q2. Now Cookie comes through the chicane and up the hill, could be on an inlet, not burning that ERS too much. As we go to who shall we find today? Freezer coming around, burning that battery down to the line, and goes P2 with a 1:14.7. So we have in 4 different seconds, we have a 13, a 14, like 2 15s, a lot of 16s, and 2 people currently in the 17s. We'll see if any of them improve, as we have got quite a lot of our drivers coming out for their final run here in Q2. A lot of people in the middle, obviously jostling to try and not get eliminated. As we have Naya burning it down to the line and doesn't improve, stays P9 for now. As we have Foot, who has invalidated, so might try and either stop or go again, not quite sure. We have Super Duck about to start a lap and Lord Bill about to start a lap. We'll go on board with Lord Bill for his flying lap. Now burning that DRS up the main straight through the line, using that DRS as well to help get some extra speed down into the first chicane. Through the first chicane, keeping it nice, quick, off the grass, off the gravel. And has unfortunately invalidated. So we'll jump to Huni, who's just coming downhill through these fast corners, now sending it uphill, using a bit of that ERS to push the car forwards. Now coming into the last chicane, you can cut quite a lot here, but you do risk invalidating. Keeps it out of the gravel there on the escort. Now burns a bit coming down. You do want to save a bit for the final push, coming down into this corner. Keeps it off the grass, off the gravel. Keeps it within the white lines. Now burns that ERS down to the line, and will jump up to P5 with a 1:16.065, now AP6. Who haven't invalidate. We do have Foot on a lap, whether it's flat lap, burning that ERS down is slightly low. Coming around the final corners, keeping it within the white lines, and burning that battery down to the line, and goes P7 with a 1:16.056. Just, I think it's 100th. I think the correct terminology is 100th second faster than Noah Huni. But as we have one, then that brings us to the end of Q2 here at Imola. As we go through, we've got Jade's Priestess Spotty, so Creeper, Babu, Foot, Noah, and Lord Bill, and Nye in the Q3. People who are currently eliminated now are Cookie, Fast Fest, Number One Technician, and Kairobi that were eliminated here in Q2. As we wait for everyone to get their setups back, and as we start our final quali set here. Here at Q3. As we've got almost all the cars now on their outlet here for Q1, as we will follow. I don't know who to follow. Who haven't we followed? We haven't followed. Let's go on. Jade's has invalidated. That's okay. It's an outlet. We will go on board with Jay's and see what sort of lap time they can pull out in Q3 with their Q1, with them taking pole in Q1 and Q2. As we start going on a flying lap, burning that battery down, wrapping quite a nice pink livery in down into the first chicane, keeping it very quick, very fast, and off the gravel. Now, had burnt quite a lot, now into that very fast chicane, through that quite very cleanly, and now to the uphill thing. And of course, a purple first sector, but it's also, no one has set a lap time yet, but we do have a few coming in down through sector 3. Now, coming in down the hill to do the fast set of corners and then brake, coming back uphill, burning that a bit of ERS to get up to the chicane. Purple second sector, again, cuts the chicane quite aggressively, but does not invalidate. Spuddy Duddy does take the provisional pole with a 1:15.9. As we come around into the final two corners, keeps it off the grass, keeps it nice, keeps it clean, burns that battery down to the line, and a banker of a 1:13.8 here today at Thing. And they will go back to the broadcast as we watch Suit for Duck going around. As you have a few people setting times, as we have Suitford who has invalidated, so we'll go down to the next person who has invalidated. We have Barrett burning everything down to the line and currently goes P2 with a 1:15.7. And we go down to who has invalidated. Fu has retired from the session, so maybe happy with his time. And we have Lord Bill out on, I assume, is a lap. because he has a lot of ERS, but he could also be on an outlap or not happy. He's not burning any of that ERS. It's quite nicely through the corners though, keeping it clean, keeps it off the gravel. He's on an outlap. My bad. I didn't bother reading the telemetry data I had on my screen. As we watch Lord Bill ready to will go on board with Lord Bill for his flying lap. Burning that ERS along with using that DRS as well, coming down into the first chicane. You don't want to approach this direct on, you want to come at a little angle like that through the chicane, keeps it nice, keeps it off the grass, out of the gravel, down into that second very fast, keeps it nicely done through that chicane, burning a little bit of that ERS on the exit, now through the uphill hairpin, burning that a little bit of ERS to get him up the hill. Through that corner, burning a little bit of that ERS there down on the exit. You want to save some of that. Through the corners, doesn't invalidate, very good. Now up to the burning a bit of that ERS to get him up the hill. Now into the final chicane, keeps it clean through there, does a purple second sector, so we'll see where this could put him. Now coming down, no battery at the moment. Well, he gains a very little bit through this corner. It's not going to be a lot of battery used left. Keeps it within the white line, so burns that very little battery down to the line and goes P2 with a 1:15.3. There are quite a lot of gaps within our times between our top 5 at the moment, and I reckon we'll see a lot of improvement in their final laps, hopefully. As I think everyone is in the pits or on an in-lap, so we shall wait to see for the next person to come out on an out-lap. As we do have Soup for Duck on an out-lap, so we will chill with him. As he is now on a lap, coming through the second chicane, keeping it within the white lines, off the gravel, burning that little bit of ERS, purple first sector, uphill, through the chicane. down, now heading back up the corner, burning that little bit of ERS. Does not have a lot left, so hopefully can save someone some. Have a second sector through this, through down here. Whoa, I'm tripping over my words. Burning a lot of that ERS. Will gain a little bit going through the corner. Doesn't have a whole lot to play with. Probably has just enough. Now burns everything down to the line and gets P3 with a 1:15.5 at this stage in quali. We have quite a few people now on their outlap. Who's about to start? Priza has just started, burning that ERS through the first chicane. And I forgot to mention her normal at the start, because earlier today I managed to do a stream and I had myself on mute for the first 10 minutes. So that was fun until a driver informed me off and Priza slides out into the gravel, so that won't be the final lap Priza is looking for here today. So I was saying I got notified by a driver that the audio wasn't working on stream, and that was fixed. But my name is Phoenix. I am your broadcaster and streamer, broadcaster and your commentator for tonight for APRL pre-season testing at Imola, which was a full quali 50% race with half points on offer, and Priester sends it into a wall and DNFs. So he will stay P7 at the moment with a 1:16.057. But this is pre-season testing at Imola, and it's a normal race, but we're doing a full quali instead of having a 30-minute practice session beforehand. It was voted right before the start, and it's a nice 50% race here. I wonder what weather we will see for the race. We will find that out in a little short period of time. As we wait for the final few, anyone else on a lap coming in, we have Lord Bill, burning that ERS down to the line, improves to Q2 with a 1:15.086. And Spotty Fedotty has invalidated. So that won't be long, but Spotty Dotty starts P4. And soon now we get ready to start the feature and the most important thing here at Imola, the race. Now we get ready to start the race. As we wait for everyone to connect back through and wait for their setup and them to get all their setups on. Now, I hope we have seen in the past here at Imola, well, I have seen a very chaotic first chicane with cars sliding everywhere. Now, hopefully they get through lap one nice and clean. But now I've said that, who knows what could happen? Because the commentator's curse is certainly a real thing. As we wait for the players. and they are off on their formation lap. I am not going to make that mistake again and get, because first time I had a race with a formation lap, I got stupidly confused. And of course, some people use it as an actual time to warm up their tyres. Others are complete and utter slightly stupid, sliding around and sending it into each other because no harm done, the track and breaker boards get reset for the race as well as their cars. We wait for everyone to get back in line for the start of this race. As waiting for the last few cars to make their way back. One, two, three, four, 5 red lights, and away we go here at the Imola, or I was about to call it, and it looks like an M plate has already gone flying and on the start line. And it looks like that could have been a Ferrari. But going through corner 1, some go side by side, almost 3 wide, but looks like pretty much. Oh! And Cookie is being disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. So already on lap 1, we have a disqualification here. My bad. It was probably and Tophead gets a 10-second penalty for corner cutting. This is the commentators, and Tophead is out of the session, and that is a safety car. I think that's just a virtual safety car. Already here, lap 1 of 32 here at the. Oh, and Coops gets a 10-second penalty for a collision with Noah. It's going crazy, lap 1. And as I said before, the commentator's curse is a real thing. And here you go. Told you we would have a clean lap 1, and we have our virtual safety car. Now, I'm pretty sure it's a virtual safety car. I don't see the safety car coming out. I don't see its yellow dot appeared. So this hopefully shouldn't last too long before we are back to racing here at Imola. And DRS has now been enabled as we start. Now we are back to racing here at Imola, as we have Jades, who is now starting to slightly pull away, who showed great pace here in quali. And I forgot to do this again, but just so no one complains, here we go. And I'm going to put the tyres up, because I know in my experience that's one of the most common things people go on for. So now we have everyone on the mediums except Coops, which is on the hard, and we have Silver Guna on the softs, who's currently in the pits. Not quite sure what that's about, but we shall see. Because those softs, I can guarantee you, aren't going to last to the end of the race. The hards aren't going to last till the end of the race either. You're very risking a puncture. And I'm not quite sure how it works, but normally you have to run 2 different compounds unless it's wet. For example, if it's intermediate and there's a 3-second penalty to Turkan. So the penalties are already starting to rack up here at Imola, as it can be quite a penalty-heavy track. Like another example of a penalty-heavy track is Mexico. And Jade sets the fastest lap of the race currently with a 17.1. As we jump down through the field with 2 people sort of pulling away, you've got a lot of cars getting quite close to the Red Bull there. But as we'll see, as we have sort of very close group to the back, we'll see what happens in the back here. As we've got a big group of people coming up through the hairpin, 2 minutes side by side. Moves are getting jostled, positions are getting fighted for, or battles. As and the kick spins it. Or Praiser spins another car that might be looked up with the stewards later on if that is reported. Now, this field has spread out quite a lot. Let's go back down to the kick. Getting back on the track, making sure not to disrupt anyone else, is overtaken by his teammate of the race, number 1 technician, and slides out again. Not sure if that was on purpose or what's happening, but if he's going to retire, please make sure to do it in the pits. Would be preferable so it doesn't trigger another virtual safety car or a safety car. And Soup for Duck has a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, which could very easily be track limit violations. And as the penalties start to build up, we will go and look at them. As we have a group now, Creeper has a 3-second time penalty again, so these penalties are starting to really rack up. As we have quite a lot of jostling, the field is slowly starting to spread out with a few small groups of cars, and Brubrek has retired from this session. It looks like it was retired in the pits, so that will be... Let me just find the car. Yeah, it's retired in the pits, so that will be all well and dandy. As we go through the chicane, keeping it within the white lines, and know it looks for a move, doesn't think about it, thinks about it, very close to the back of Fastfest there. Will he get the move done on the straight? He should get DRS, and he doesn't. Does he have a lot of battery? He gets DRS and has higher battery. So, can he get the move done on Fastfest? No, it looks like he can't quite get the move done on time before he finished. And now we go, let's jump back up to this middle pack of 3 drivers, which are very close together. So I think it's Spotty, Dotty, Preeza, and Soup. A bit of squiggling and worming as we have Preeza chasing down Spotty Dotty, who is very close behind. Maybe looking for a move on the straight, who knows, we will find out in a bit. We are on lap 5 out of 32 with 4 drivers on with penalties, and we have 1 disqualification and 2 DNFs. 1 with a retirement in the pits. He could have had an issue with his back wing, and Krybu picks up a 3-second time penalty. Babruk could have had an issue with his back wing, and unlike your front wing, if your back wing damaged, you are out. And we go through the field, and a few cars grouped together. We have got Spotty for Dotty and Preeza going at it. So we'll sit with Spotty, Dotty, and Preeza for a minute to see if Preeza drops a bit far back. It was quite close. Got confirmation that kick did have a broken rear wing, and unfortunately you can't fix that, so he retired in the pits. As Preza is still going at it behind is going at it Spotty to Dotty for third place. So currently it's a Racing Bull in first and both the Red Bulls in second and third. Number one technician picking up a 3-second time penalty, making that 5 drivers on lap 7 with a time penalty. As the back half of the field is pretty spread out. As we go down to here, who it's the McLaren cars. The field very spread out, with actually a McLaren coming in quite quickly to number one technician, closing that gap, looking to make a move, thinks about it a bit, goes through the chicane, almost goes sideways with that kick, trying to defend his position. Not sure what the goal is there, but Solf cuts in, goes too fast wide into the gravel, but still manages to get in front. But then Parker Boy gets their move done. Oh! Number one technician cut the corner and smashed it into Parker Boy, and Lord Bill picks up a 3-second time penalty. That incident with the McLaren and the kick is sure to get reported, as that kick is doing very interesting things. As we go back and through the field, the other McLaren, this field is jumping all over the place. I can't keep track of who is where anymore. As we sit with Nio, who seems to be in a nice group of people for the time being. As we wait for the driver of the kick who might jump in for a quick chat as we continue watching Preza go around the chicane. And now, in the comms box with me, I'm probably going to pronounce your name wrong. I probably could have been calling it wrong all night, but I can't be bothered to pronounce it. The kick that got spun out by, I'm pretty sure it was Naya, slightly earlier in the race. From what I have heard, you damaged your back wing.
Yeah, lost the rear wing. Had to retire the car. Just decided doing the pits just for the safety car.
And
I just got understeer from Spotty Dotty and then couldn't keep it together, and Naya caught my rear, and that was it.
And spun it into a wall. And luckily, I did actually manage to catch that moment on stream. So after it's over, you can see Naya spinning you and clip that.
That's all good.
if you want.
No, it's all good.
How did you enjoy your quali? I kind of forgot what quali you got dropped out in, if you did, because
No, I got through, um, finished P7,
and
got a good start.
Fred Skin
Um,
10-second
took
penalty.
P5 into the first corner, and then got a position and went to go get another and then spun it.
That is very unfortunate spinning it. And it looks like we have an Aston in the gravel. Keeps it together nice and neatly. And we had, thank you for that visit from that. I was about to call it Aston driver, but no, that's who I am with now. I mean, what car am I trying to think of? Kick Sauber. Got him the TP for that in a different league. My bad. And it looks like the other Aston has also DNF'd. Now, Krupa gets another 3-second penalty. So in a minute, we will take a look at the penalties. And it looks like it is a safety car here in Imola. At lap 10, we have a safety car. As we now wait for everyone to catch up with the safety car, and a lot of the guys have taken the opportunity to pit and get onto a set of hard tyres. As Jades has stayed out, but also they could have just missed the pits when the safety car happened, as they now do decide to go into the pits, so they'll probably pass the pit entrance as the safety car came out or happened. And there are cars everywhere. I'm not quite sure who's lapped at this point in time because they're so vastly spread out. As we will wait with Jade for the safety car restart, and then we'll choose someone to watch when they all bunch together. For now, we will have a quick check of the penalties with Lord Bill, Soup for Duck, Creeper, and Fastfest having 3-second penalties. Spotty for Dotty as well having a 3-second penalty now. We have Kryber on a 6-second, and Fred Skin has picked up 13 seconds in penalties here tonight. Back to the tyres. As we go back, wait, everyone is starting to group up, and it looks like that is unfortunate. Is he going to go past the safety car? No, almost sends it into the back of the safety car, but it looks like, oh no, has gone in front. So the game would have told him to go in front of the safety car. He almost had a lapped car, the car in last place be in front of the car in first place for the safety car restart. As we have a few of them starting to bunch up into groups, and I wonder how many we will get before the safety car does come in. As now we wait, we have a majority of the guys grouped up and behind the safety car. As we wait for, I think there are 4 or 5 drivers that aren't quite together. There are 4. and I don't think the others will make it in time, especially not Parker Boy, who is a safety car saved him from being lapped here tonight. As now we wait, I think everyone decided to pit onto the safety car. Most of the field went onto the harder compound tyres, with 3 people still left on the medium compound tyres. As safety car, I don't think is in their slip. As the safety car goes around for another lap here at Imola. As we go around through the hairpin, as we show almost all the cars actually have catched up. I'm not quite sure what happens, and the safety car is in this lap. So we will go on board with, who shall we go on board with? Jeez, I don't know. We'll go on board with Lord Bill for the safety car restart. As we go, and we are back and racing here at Imola. As we follow Lord Bill through the first chicane, looking to make a move, and for the first time, Preza has actually taken first place at this minute, as both Lord Bill and Jades do run wide and touch the gravel coming out of that hairpin. No, sorry, the chicane leading to the hairpin. And Jades, I don't think, got this safety car restart that they wanted. As we will go back to the normal mode, and we will go and peek down, see what further the field is doing. As we almost have all the cars come, and the current McLarens are currently sitting 13th and 14th here. And the top 2 are starting to pull away from the field. Then both the Red Bulls in 3rd and 4th. And then we have some of the other cars still relatively bunched together, as it's only first lap back here at racing. And now DRS has been re-enabled after the safety car. As we watch them coming down the straight, main straight. And Fredskin gets a 10-second time penalty. So again, the penalties are racking up. I want to say like racks on racks on racks, but I really forgot where that saying came from. As we go through, going uphill, getting ready to end Sector 2 and go into Sector 3. As we watch Naya go through the chicane, and Fredskin gets a 10-second time penalty for crossing the pit lane exit. As we watch him come down the main straight. As they are coming now through the hairpin. And Fredskin gets another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. We will now go and, if I can find it. Nope, okay. Penalties. We have 3 seconds for Spotty Dotty, Lord Bill, Soup for Duck, Creeper, and Fastfest, with Fredskin getting 36 seconds of penalties, as Slippery Goon has disconnected, and I will... Oh, did I think I may have zoned out temporarily, because there are 10-second penalty. Foe gets a 10-second penalty for a severe collision. And there are penalties getting thrown out like petals down a wedding aisle. There we go. I could say candy on Halloween. Petals being thrown down the wedding aisle. Here's a penalty for you. Penalty for you. Penalty for you. Penalty for you. As now we will now switch back to the tyres, and what button did I just press? Oh, we're still under the safety car. Oh, there's a safety car. God, I am not doing too well at this, Jazz, considering I zoned out and I kind of forgot that there was a safety car. God, I need to pay more attention. I am getting tired here. Imola, as Babrik has left the session, that's fine. I don't know, everyone has left the session. Don't need to get anyone back in. We have so far 7 DNFs here at Imola. We're on lap 18 out of 32. As most of them are again grouped up, ready and waiting for that safety car restart, with some of the grid taking the opportunity to pit onto those fresher tyres. As now, we will go back, and for the safety car restart, we will choose yet again another driver to go on board with for that restart. And Jades, who had a very promising qualification and had a massive lead until the first safety car, and now unfortunately there's another safety car, so probably not the race they are wanting to do. As we are still on the safety car waiting for that notification that the safety car is going to come in this lap. And I think that notification pops around sometime at the start of Techno 3. Rip skin. Yep, we have had a lot of drivers DNF, and if anyone in chat wants to choose a driver to watch the safety car restart, yeah, he had a 14-second time penalty. If anyone wants to choose, and it looks like it's the safety car is in, so we'll quickly jump on board with Spotty Dotty. Oh, that's Lord Bill. We'll stay with Lord Bill for the safety car restart, trying to warm up those tyres, which would be a little chilly going into the safety car restart. And as we go, they're getting ready to cross the line, and we are back and racing for the second time here at Imola. And now 3 wide, or 2 wide. Almost had a very chaotic turn 1 with one of the cars going slightly into gravel, with Freezer currently taking pole and overtaking James. As we watch him go side by side, off a little bit of wheel banging there, side by side into the first chicane. Not the race Jades is probably hoping for. As we watch him come up through the hairpin, watching all the wheel banging, and we'll go check out what the rest of the grid is doing after this lap. Through the corner, Jades touches the gravel a bit again. I wonder if Jades has got damage somewhere that we can't see, like side pod or rear wing. Could also be front wing. But Lord Bill burning that battery up into that final chicane. Keeps it clean. And Preza starts to pull away from Jades, who had showed great promise and pace in qualifying and in the early stages of this race. As we watch it come through the final corner, getting ready. And now we go back to the back. The grid is still pretty much, DRS is enabled again, pretty much grouped together after that safety car restart, with a few cars jostling for position. And I need to send an invite to... 1 second, guys. We'll get back to the stream in 1 second. There we go, hopefully. And just missing, Fastfest picks up a 3-second time penalty. So currently there is 2, 4, and a Fear Cup has gone off of Fastfest, has gone off the track, and had an unlucky spin or something there, and spun again, doing donuts in a race. Don't know if that was on purpose. It sure Lord Bill gets a 3-second time penalty, and Fastfest gets a... don't know what he's up to, but we will leave him be for now. And he does only have 6 seconds, so we've got a variety of seconds, and Fu gets a 3-second time penalty as well. So now he's up to 16 seconds. As we go back to the tyres, the field is starting to spread out again, with Parker Boy and Creeper being quite close together. As we watch him, is now by himself. I swear he had a McLaren with him a minute ago. As we jump back up to... and Parker Boy gets a 3-second time penalty, so we currently have only 4 people without a time penalty. And Noah Huni sitting all the way back at the back. I think he unluckily got disconnected and his AI was driving for him. So he'll be trying his very best to try and catch up with 9 laps of racing to go here at Imola. As we jump back up towards the top, Priza is now starting to pull away, but does have that 3-second penalty over the looming over his head. As Priza is pulling away, and Jades, who showed great promise earlier on, but maybe has had some damage that we don't know about. And I'm starting to lose my train of thought as we get towards the end of this race. And post-race, we will try and get the top 3 in for a quick interview. And maybe another person if I feel like it, or if I find someone that I really want to talk to about their race. As we go, the field's getting quite spread out. There's a few drivers dotted around. As we are we are starting to enter the later stages of this race with 8 laps left here at Imola. I keep on trying to call it Japan for some unknown reason, and my good old Italian friend is going to come at me for that after, aka why I haven't been saying any names of any of the corners because I don't want to butcher it. I mean, I could say Aqua Milena Mamari, but see, I've already screwed that one up as drivers are starting to spread out, and Priza has gained quite a considerable lead, but needs to get Spotty Dotty. Jades is now in 4th. Spotty Dotty does have a penalty, so at the moment, double checking the penalties, Priza will stay first at this stage, but as we know, anything can change. We'll look at a quick look at the stops. A few of them have only stopped once during the first safety car. I think a few of them have chosen to stop in the second safety car, and Noah Huni gets a 3-second time penalty. As we go back to having the tyres up, because I know from experience from watching races and seeing chats from races that the tyres is one of the things they are most interested in. And Soup for Duck gets a 3-second time penalty. And Fo gets a 3-second time penalty. So in the later stages of this race, the time penalties are starting to really add up here. As we are now... Oh, I pressed the button and did not realise mean to go on board with Priza. But as we look at Priza having a very good lap, coming up to Fastfest, who's on the softs. Interesting choice of tyres there. Those softs aren't going to be very nice if he tries to push the softs to the end. And I wonder how soon he is going to get Priza knocking behind him going, "Hello, please move. I'm going to lap you now." As we flick through the field, we will go see there's a group of thralls, a bit of dirty air there. And it looks like Soup for Duck stays first, and Parker Boy gets a 3-second time penalty. And it looks like Fast Fest is DNF'd. I'm not quite sure what happened there. It could have been a retirement in the pits, as I did not see a virtual safety car, a yellow, or anything on the likes of that. As we watch, I think it's Jade's, Soup for Duck, and Naya currently going at it in a small group. No, I think it's Soup, Naya, and Creeper. My bad. Going at it with Soup starting. Naya and Eshe swap positions around that corner as Naya and Creeper have a good little battle going. Naya, wrong Merc, I'm sorry, looking to try and catch up to Soup for Duck, and Creeper, who is now looking for a move for Soup. Does he get it? Yes, he does currently. He retains that position, and Soup for Duck gets looks like a little bit of dirty there coming out of that chicane as they go down into the final double left-hander of this lap. We have now got, I think, 4 laps of racing left here at Imola for pre-season testing. The first pre-season testing of Season 2. As we watch Soup for Duck and Noah and Naya and Creeper, Spotty Dotty picks up a 3-second time penalty, with only 3 drivers on the grid without a time penalty. And I'm not sure if they picked up one they had to serve in the pits earlier, and Naya picks up a time penalty, so I spoke too soon. So it's Jades and Coops, as Jades gets the move done on Coops, are the only 2 drivers left without a penalty, as Coops gets a bit of dirty air, and Naya does get the move back done on Creeper. As we look at this battle down here for P3, with Coops behind with DRS, but has very little battery, so I don't think it's quite all. Does he get the move done through the chicane? Yes, he does. So Coops is now currently P3, and Jades is P4. And Jades gets a 3-second time penalty. So Coops is currently the only one on the field without a time penalty. And just for that, next lap, on lap 30, with 3 laps to go, we will jump on board with him as a not quite reward for having no penalties currently in this race. As we watch him come down the main straight, burning a bit of that ERS, almost all of that ERS down, coming into that first chicane. And as I spoke to soon, Jade slides past him, must have gotten DRS, and Coops has no battery to fight back, burns a little bit of it, trying to save some more through that chicane, very nicely, doesn't touch the gravel, coming up to and Fo gets another 3-second time penalty. So definitely in a minute we will go check those, but we will stay on board with Coops for now as he chases down Jade for that P3 position. We go through down there, now uphill to that chicane, burning a little bit of that ERS, but also saving a bit maybe for a move, trying to stay within that second, because when you pass through the catchment zone, which is about here, is within a second, so he will gain DRS on that main straight, which is quite a very long DRS zone. He has built up a nice little bit of battery to help also get that move done. Now, Will Parker Boy gets a 3-second time penalty as well. With DRS and battery, I don't think it's enough for Coops to get that move done on Jade, as Spotty Fodoti and Preza do switch positions. As we see some of the lads on quite old tyres, we'll push it on this second to last lap here at Imola. We'll go check the... Oh. And penalties, we have 4 with 22 seconds, so Spotty Fodoti for 6, 3 for Preza, 3 for Jades, 12 for Sue, 6 for Creeper, 3 for Naya, 22 for Fu, 9 for Parker Boy, and 3 with Noah Huni, with Coots being the only one without a penalty. And now, when they all cross the finish, honestly, I couldn't tell you who's going to win, because the penalties are going to jostle everyone around. And we don't know, as we have sort of 2 groups of 2, a group of 3 or 4 drivers, so that's 4, and then we have the 2 people towards the back. As we go up side-by-side action, and that Alpine is looking for a move on Soup, and we've got Soup, Creeper, and Naya very bunched together here on, now we start this heading towards to start their final lap. As they go off very tightly around that corner, will be interesting to see what comes of that little train. And so Creeper does get DRS, so that move is easy peasy, smooth as pie. As we go back to the front, they're coming up that hill for the final time this race. The group, basically 4 of them in that group together, split into 2 smaller groups of 2, with Spotty Fodoti having better battery currently than Preza, but it will come down to the penalties as they head into that last chicane for the last time here at Imola. Keeps it through the lines, doesn't get a penalty, and it's going to be a battle down to the line as Spotty Fodoti does have a bit more, well, spoke too soon. Preza has, they have very low battery as they come around. The Soup for Duck picks up a 3-second time penalty. But as they come down to the race line, in a minute, your race winner here at Imola is, I think, Coops, followed by Preza, Jades, Spotty Fodoti in 5th, and we... as Foe picks up a 10-second time penalty for unserved time penalties. And it looks like to finish out the field, we'll go through the official results after, but it looks like it is set in stone and Noah will cross the line, and that is the race over. And we will try and get the top 3 in for an interview, but we'll run through the results really quickly here when the results come up. And we're not going to watch the podium. The driver of the day for the game gives it to Coops again, as well as the race winner. The race winner, Coops, who started P18, wins the race, followed by Preza, Jade, Spotty Dotty, Creeper, Naya, Soup for Duck, Fur, Parker, Noah, and the DNFs being Fast Fest, Lord Bill, Fredskin, Kroger, number one technician, Slimer Goober, Barbrack, Tophead, and Cookie. Will any of them jump in for a post-race interview? As we will see if anyone will hop in for an interview with us. We will wait a bit. If not, then we will wrap it up here tonight. As it looks like we do have 2 people in chat with us. Priza, we'll start with you. How did your race go from your perspective?
Do we want to start with third or just? Oh wait, no one else is here. Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, one sec. Let me
Oh.
get the rest of them in here, and then we can.
I'm Camus's engineer, by the way. Just saying. Glad to be here.
Thomas, are you modding here? Can you drag Jaden in?
I'm on mobile. I'll say
Wait.
Oh, you did. So, I've already forgotten who came third. Oh, can everyone stop coming in here? I'm still
Hey,
like,
boys, get out. Boys, get out. Top 3 and engineers only.
yeah. I will allow the engineer, because, okay, we'll start with third. How did your race go from your perspective, and what did you think about the 2 safety cars?
Pretty good until I damaged my front wing
Ugh.
because of the safety car. Yeah. And my just could not turn at all.
Yeah. Is there anything you would have done differently if you were to race this race again?
Gone to AI on the safety car.
So you don't. That's.
So I get damage again.
That is very valid. I have done that one before too. And are you looking forward to next week? It's at Silverstone. Is Silverstone good for you? Do you like the track?
Yes, very much.
That is very nice. We'll move on to, is second here?
Yep.
Very eager. How did the race go from your perspective, and what did you think about the 2 safety cars and the virtual?
Sorry. Yeah. Continue. Sorry.
No, I forgot there wasn't a virtual safety car. There was an actual safety car.
My quality wasn't too good. I was like P9 or something stupid like that. But then I got pretty lucky off the start. I got a few places, and the safety cars were good. Both my restarts were helped by Jaden not having a very good restart, is all I can say. Especially on the second one where he kind of spun, that was very helpful. And then the laps in clean air were like the best thing ever. But once he re-overtook me and I picked up the pen, it got a bit interesting towards the end. And then, yeah, Camus was the only one without a pen. So well deserved from him. Yeah.
Now, are you looking forward to next week at Silverstone? Do you like Silverstone?
It's a good track to battle. I really hate dirty air, if you can't tell already, and that's not a very good track for it. But Silverstone should be good. It's good for battling. So yeah. And just lastly, I'd like to give a big shout out to Spotty Dotty, who helped me through this race. He towed me along in DRS for most of it, and he was my emotional support. So big up Spotty Dotty, Daniel P, the GOAT.
Yeah. And fuck, who won? I forgot. Shit, no, my bad. I remember who won. I'm sorry. Now to move on to the race winner. How did the race go from your perspective, and what did you think about the safety cars?
It went good because I won. The safety cars, they made it safe. So yeah.
Oh shit, I forgot. So you went from P18 to P1, I believe, and were the only one.
Yeah, it's nothing.
only one not to get a penalty or DNF the race.
Yep, it's nothing.
Are you looking forward to next week at Silverstone? Do you like Silverstone?
No,
Why not?
no, I don't like it.
Silverstone's a nice track. Any other comments you have from the race? Moments? Or the fact I caught you doing 3 donuts earlier? Anyway, that will wrap up it here for pre-season testing for APRL in Imola. We will see you all next week at Silverstone.